So I saw this interesting conversation Pierre Poilievre is having with apple farmers, and I thought I should bring it to the channel so you can also see it. And I like the fact that he's in the mix, sharing his thoughts and also hearing what his people have to say. Because I feel like sometimes the government is a disconnect between the government and the common man. So this one, hopefully, if he gets in power, he gets to still keep the same energy. But check it out. This is just Kelowna.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the trees, most of the trees died that year from the
Really?
cold. Yeah,
That's 60 years ago.
that's 60 years.
How old were you?
I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, we arrived July the 4th. The next day I was picking cherries on a ladder.
The next day.
Next day, 12 years old.
Wow, what a story. This is the immigrant story. Arrives on what day of the week was it you arrived? Remember?
I think we arrived on a Sunday.
Arrived on a Sunday, Monday morning, up picking cherries. And you haven't stopped.
Nope.
60 years of picking fruit. What a story.
I had another orchard next door. Not next door, because I used to be my dad's, and then mine was 2 doors over.
You look strong
Yeah, well.
and robust. Yeah, this is the great immigrant
Must be
story.
that, eh?
Hard work, hard work, hard work. That's what
My
builds the
family,
country.
that's all our family ever did was work.
Right.
And we're all the same. My other brother that isn't here, that's Joe's partner, is the same thing. We're all just work. You can't stay in bed. Gotta get out of bed and go to work.
Get up and get at it.
Keep moving.
Well, that's how the Portuguese helped build Canada.
You see what he said, the pride, like he's so proud when he speaks about work. All my family ever did was work, like he's proud. But nowadays, can you really feel that proud when you're speaking about work? Because you're going to get taxed anyway. Your money is going to go to paying rent or paying mortgage. At the end of the day, the work you're putting in, you're not getting anything in return. So people don't even speak about work with so much pride anymore. Some people would say, I love my job. Not necessarily though. If your employer didn't give you any money, would you still love your job? And that goes back to my point to say things are so difficult right now that you have to love your job because of what you're getting from it. That's just the truth.
Yes.
All across the country,
Yeah.
that's
Whether it was construction or whatever, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right on, Jack.
That's good.
Thanks a
Well,
lot, my friend.
hey, you better-
What a beautiful apple.
Right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I
You
understand.
better kick that guy out.
We're going to get him out.
You don't have to worry about me, but gotta get the other guys
All right,
to
Jack.
vote for you.
I love it. Thank
That's
you.
good.
I am
How are you?
Parham.
Parham.
Yeah, I don't
Good to see
have a story like his, but
Maybe you do. It's just a little, little different.
No, I started working soon as I could stand up. I was on the farm picking apples, working hard.
Did you grow up here?
Yeah, I did. Born and raised here
In Oliver
Yeah,
itself? Okay.
yeah.
And on an apple farm?
Yeah, a fruit farm. You know, back then it was a mix. You had a tree of pears, and he could tell them say the same thing, and then you had apricots, and it used to be mixed with everything. So, yeah, and you know, we've seen a lot of changes in how we're farming, but still farming.
You enjoy it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope my kids go into it, and
You own a farm now?
yeah, I do.
Was it your family farm?
Yeah, we got the family farm, and then I got my own when I was about 25 years old. Got my mortgage and got a farm, but that's really hard for my son to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's getting harder and harder, and it's getting harder and harder to survive in the farming industry.
Yeah.
Fruit growing industry.
Yeah, the fruit.
Because that's why you see all these farms or orchards getting ripped out and going to grapes.
Right.
It's part of everybody's chasing the dollar almighty.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have high costs just like we do.
Very high.
But it's still a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, this is very labor intensive. You know, we can't pick this with machines.
Absolutely.
You have to do it all
Hard
by
work,
hand.
handwork.
Handwork.
Yeah.
We desperately
Hard
need
work.
some incentives to bring our kids back into the
I know.
Yes.
But we're punishing work in Canada, right? You work,
Exactly.
you
just
lose all
mentioned.
your benefits, and you pay high taxes.
Yep.
We need to reduce taxes so people bring home more of each dollar they earn, and hard work once again pays off.
I always say,
One thing I noticed in Canada, the system, I think I probably stated this in one of my videos already, but I don't understand. It's like they take the money from you in form of taxes and then give you a rebate or give the money back to you lower. My idea is, why don't you just let the person keep the money? If you're taking the money to give them back, because we saw in House of Commons the other day, I think Pierre Poilievre was speaking to Justin Trudeau about carbon taxes. And Justin Trudeau said they are using the carbon taxes to fight or to bring green energy, and also they are giving rebates of $968 to Canadians. I don't know if that might have been, I don't know, counterintuitive if you ask me, because it was stated in the same conversation that Canadians, because of the carbon taxes, are losing $1,500. So if you're giving them $900 in rebates, they are still losing money. So why take it away from them? I'm not in the government. Maybe there's some inner explanations to this, but just looking at it from the outside in, I can't fathom.
Say that they say the poverty line is what, $17,000 or $21,000?
Yeah.
I say, why does anybody pay taxes under that amount of money?
Yeah.
And yet we do. Not just the other tax, but federal and provincial taxes.
Income tax,
You know,
payroll tax.
Exactly,
Yeah. And
So-
those taxes have gone up.
The
So-
TD, once you go, it's like 14, 15,000. That should be up at 24 before any tax kicks in.
The personal exemption, you mean?
Yeah. You know, like more people are going to work if they know that up to 25, they're paying zero.
Yeah.
But now it's so low at 14. That hasn't changed for years.
Yeah.
And everything else has changed. We're not modernizing all our different segments with what's changing.
But the problem is the government is spending so much money that they have to grab it from everybody's pocket. And there's nothing free. There's no freebies.
that's what I always say, there's no free lunch. Somebody eventually has to pay
That's
it.
right. Somebody's paying the
Somebody
piper.
has to pay it.
Absolutely.
Guess who's paying it? You and I that are working
Yeah.
our
There was
asses
a
off.
question asked in the House of Commons that,
Yeah.
what are we borrowing this year? And Trudeau never
They didn't know.
answered.
They didn't know. We're going to borrow 410 billion this year. That's the deficit for this year is 40 billion, and then the pre-existing debt that's rolling over into these higher rates. It's up for renewal. 410 billion the government's going to borrow. You don't think that pushes up interest rates? When the government is taking 400 billion is like the equivalent of 2 months GDP for Canada. That's how much the federal government alone is going to borrow. So they're competing with you for credit. You know, if you I actually used this example in the House, I said, if the government bought 400 billion apples, apple prices would go way up. If the government borrows $400 billion, the price of borrowing goes up. It's a simple supply and demand reality. And so that's one of the reasons why our interest rates are so high.
Well, I watched one of your videos at one of the standing committees on finance. You said,
Yeah.
where did this money come from?
Yeah.
You know, and they said,
Nobody knew.
who's the question for? And you said, well, anybody on the committee could answer this question, right? And then, you know, it was that Jeopardy song, you know,
Yeah.
ding, ding, and then, like, nobody had an answer. Where, like, it's pretty simple. Where did the money come from? Like, did you borrow it? Did you tax it? Or, like, where did it come from?
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the answer you wanted, but that's
You
not,
got the
didn't apply.
answer.
So,
Yeah.
part one, the picture with you.
get a
So-
picture?
All right, let's do it. Okay, let's bring it home.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's moving around, at least listening to what people have to tell him. I don't know if those are the guys, those are the, should I say, the people that work in Canada and they feel the pain. I'm still very new in Canada, so I may not even be the best one to have an opinion, but I like the fact that he's going to like the core people. He goes to everywhere, basically, talks to elders, talks to people in the farms, everybody. And he even posts videos of I think there was a nurse that was living in a van, and he posted videos like that too. That would indicate to me that he's connected to the people, and I hope it stays that way when he becomes prime minister. If he becomes prime minister, I'm saying when already, like I can see the future. A lot of you want him to be, fingers crossed, I don't know. They said take the other guy out. Anyways, let me know what you think about that video. I just thought I should bring it to you guys. Share your thoughts. If there's anything you want to add, correct, or critique, please do so. That being said, smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.